Hi everyone, welcome back to this channel. My name is Bronte. As the title will suggest, this is going to be a sort of, not a recap, but like a look into how I'm getting on with my 2025 journal and planner system so far. Today is, I don't even know what date it is, let's check. Okay, it's the 17th of January, so we are about a little over halfway through the month. And yeah, this time last year I was questioning everything, but this year I am not. So that's a good start. I thought we could do, I think I have kind of shown all of these books in a previous video, but if you haven't seen that one, I thought we could do a little run through firstly of what I'm using. So I have the Hobonichi Weeks in the Harvest Plaid cover, and this is my reading journal. This is the Stalogy 365. This is the Yoseka stationery exclusive colour that I bought when I was in New York last year. This is the A5 size and it's got a 4mm grid. This is my Commonplace book. I'm really sorry if you can hear that construction noise, by the way. That just started. That's not convenient. Let's hope it's short-lived. This one is the Hours Studio Brick Notes. I got this at Miso Paper and it's this sort of deal. So it's kind of for collecting little scraps of ephemera, I think. That's what I'm using it for. I'm using it for bulkier ephemera that won't kind of... It's not that it won't fit into my cousin, but I'd rather not bulk up my cousin to such an extent. So yeah, this is from kind of Happy Mail and like notes from my friends and things like that. I filled one page so far. I have been kind of layering things up quite a lot. So yeah, so there's quite a lot of pages in here, and then at the back we've got all the tea labels for this year. So I guess that's that shown. But this is the Brick Notes. It's just a skinny book. Okay, and then these are kind of my two main guys. I have the Hemlock Oak Flex cover in the horizontal layout, which is my planner. And then this is the Hobonichi Hon. This is the cousin, the A5 size. This is my journal. A lot of stuff goes into my journal, and it's kind of also part Commonplace book, I suppose. It's just kind of whatever I want goes in here. I throw a lot of stuff in, so yeah. Okay, so shall we talk through what is working? So I think I'm really happy to have actually this many books. I was a bit nervous because it's quite a lot, you know, there's 5 different books here, but there's only 1 or 2 really. There's these 2 that I use every day. The others are kind of supplemental, let's say. The reading journal is just for my own personal enjoyment of it. I do write about books in my cousin as well, and often I will consult that when I'm filling this book out. The Commonplace, again, like this is just because I really enjoy doing this, and I've had a lot of fun with it. I did start this towards the end of last year. I can do a more in-depth video on this as well if you're interested, but yeah, I'm really glad that's what I've decided to use the Stalogy notebook for, because I was saving it for like something special, and I guess this is, yeah, it's working really nicely. I'm glad that the Brick Notes is here for me to add like all the really bulky things. I think that's a really nice way of keeping as much ephemera as possible without, you know, you can keep it all without feeling like you're sacrificing or like making a decision about what goes into your journal and what doesn't. So yeah, I really like that. I think the cons, I only have one, and that is that this book is really big and it's heavy, and I have had to swap from, I have like a shoulder bag that I use for work generally, but I've had to swap to my rucksack because my back was killing me carrying this around with like my water bottle and my lunch and everything. I was hurting my shoulder. So I did at the start of the year, or kind of towards the end of last year, I was thinking I would have like an everyday carry and this would stay at home, but I was finding that just doesn't work for my brain. Like I have to have it all in front of me, and having things in two places was just chaos ensued. So yeah, literally, yeah, I think the only con is that this is really heavy. Actually, I would also add that the Hemlock and Oak books, obviously this is just a card cover. Sorry, brief intermission whilst I wait for the drilling to stop. So yeah, this card cover is kind of flimsy. It's not super flimsy, but it's also like, it is just card. It's not coated in any way. And you can see it's already scuffed up from like 2 weeks of carrying it around. So that's a bit of a shame. I wish that Hemlock and Oak made a cover for this, like a clear cover. They don't, because this is a letter size. This is a Midori cover. I just took this off my Commonplace book to avoid the glare, but this is not big enough. It looks big enough, it is not, because of the seal, you know, this kind of seam. This does not fit on the Hemlock and Oak books, and I have not been able to find a cover that does fit. So that's a bit of a shame. If you know of one, please can you let me know, because I would love to get one. Because I think that this cover is going to look really scrappy by the end of the year. So maybe I need to stop taking it to work, but you know, I need it sometimes at work. So that's the con of this system. That's not such a good thing, but everything else has been working really well. And I've been pretty good at keeping up with things. As I said, these two are the ones that I use pretty much every day. These three are supplemental. So shall we go through the little supplemental guys first, because there's maybe less to say about those. So my weeks, the Hobonichi weeks, if you're not familiar with this book, it does start the first week of December, and because December was on the 1st of December, sorry, was on a Sunday, we actually get basically the last week of November. I use this for doing quite a lot of decoration, and I write book reviews or like little notes about books that I've finished, books that I've bought. I used to call this my hobbies journal, but it is much more about reading now, and I'm okay with that. But I think I see here I'm writing about using my Commonplace book quite a lot. I was really obsessively filling that out in this sort of time of the year last year. But yeah, the spreads always look a bit different. Here we've got my packaging from my Labubu, because I managed to get the secret exciting macaron Labubu. And yeah, some notes about books, books that I started, finished. Here's some washi swatches, so that was a bit more hobby related. But yeah, this is this week. And I haven't filled this out. I filled this out, I think, on Friday last week. Or Sunday, one of those days. So I need to come back and write some notes for this week, because I finished a book yesterday, and what else has happened? Some other stuff has happened, so yeah, I'll need to fill this out. But this is just like a fun place for me to add information that's specifically about my hobbies. There's nothing kind of like, no journal-y type thoughts and feelings go into this. There's no planning, because you know the weeks is supposed to be a planner, but it's actually a very good size for this stuff. It's not overwhelming. I had thought, before I started using this as a reading journal, I had thought about just having kind of like a bullet journal type deal, but it was so overwhelming to me. So this, somehow something clicked in my brain at the end of 2023, and I started using my weeks as a reading journal then, and it works really great. So yeah, that's this book. I last year was really trying to keep up with the monthly calendars with like book releases and stuff like that, and this year I think I'm not gonna do that because I just couldn't keep up with it last year. And then the notes pages, I don't really use that much, but I did start learning Greek at the end of last year because my partner's family on his dad's side are Greek Cypriot, but holy crap, Greek is really hard. But I have the Greek alphabet in here. And then I have some notes from my friends from our journal meetup, and my ink palette for the beginning of this year. And then I did like a 2025 in and out list, which I haven't looked at this since I filled this out, but maybe I should post that on Instagram. But yeah, this is kind of like not necessarily hobbies related, it's just like notes, I guess, and some things are hobbies related, but it's also like this list, I wasn't sure where to put this, so this is where it went. Yeah. So then I feel like we've talked through these stickers don't want to stick to this cover. I kind of like that wonky too, but so yeah, I feel like we've already talked through this brick notes, so I won't really say anything else about it, but if you have questions, let me know. But it's a nice little book. I got it not necessarily knowing what I was going to do with it, and then found a use for it because it's not an expensive book. I think maybe in the UK they retail for like no more than $7.50. So yeah. So my Commonplace book, I have some stickers on the cover here, which I do like, but like I've kind of fallen out of love with this. I like where I've used these stickers, which I designed for Olive and Mabel. That spelled Commonplace, but I don't know, maybe I'll peel some stuff off at a later date. I don't know. Okay. So the Commonplace system is something that has been widely popularized by my friend Megan of Megan Rhiannon Petite Gloom. Megan is amazing and is incredibly diligent and organized and like I want to say obsessive. I don't think she would mind me using that word, with her kind of note taking and like collecting of notes, and has really popularized the Commonplace system. I have also though been listening to the complete Sherlock Holmes on Audible, narrated by Stephen Fry, and there is quite a lot of mention of Sherlock Holmes having a Commonplace book, because it was quite like a popular Victorian pastime to have a Commonplace book, which is so cool. I think there's a lot of history behind commonplacing that we don't necessarily know about it, because it's become quite like a bit of like a buzzword, like a cool thing to have. And obviously, you know, I have jumped on that hype train too. But I use my Commonplace book in a bit of a different way to what other people might do. Mine is mainly collected quotes and information from books, specifically like copied out quotes. Commonplacing is supposed to be a place to kind of like collect material from other places, and you're not supposed to really do, to my knowledge, you're not really supposed to do like journaling or kind of personal ideas. It's like a collection of other things. I do some ideas. So I am a knitter, and I do write in here about knitting ideas because this is where I find is easy for me to collect this stuff all together. So I have some printed out stuff about knitting ideas at the beginning, but then I really got into this book when I started copying out quotes from Hungerstone by Kat Dunn. I have this as an advanced reader's copy, and I was just so obsessed when I was reading this book. It's a fantastic book. It's out in February. I would really recommend it if you like vampires and kind of suspense, and it's like got like a sapphic like romance story to it. It's so good. So I started copying out quotes from Hungerstone because I was really inspired by the book. So I have all of these quotes that I copied out, and then in the margin I have notes about the quotes, my personal notes. Because I had so much fun, I wrote some notes about the characters and like ideas about that I was having about the book, or like thoughts I was having, I suppose. I have some book stuff here. I'm doing a reading challenge this year on my Kindle, which I'm not doing like solely on my Kindle because I do have some paperbacks to read. And that challenge is kind of hosted, or like was conceived of, by Spicy Cats Reads on Instagram. I have like a wintry mood board that I made. Like, that doesn't really need to be in here, but it is. I've got some home inspiration from magazines. And then I have lots of things from Sylvia Plath's letters home and her journals, because I find them really interesting, much more so than her fiction or her poetry. I really like her own words about her own life. I also have this article in here about animals that live in hedgerows in the UK. So more letters home. And then here there's some notes about this kind of writing practice called Florilegium, which is kind of I think it's popularized in the medieval times. It's basically an offshoot of commonplacing tradition, it says here. It's kind of gathering quotes together and kind of making a new text from those quotes, which I find quite interesting as a concept. And I remembered about this because I was writing these Sylvia Plath quotes out, and by doing that I'm kind of putting together my own version of her letters home. Yeah. And then I got distracted and I read this article about Virginia Woolf and her notebooks, and I copied some stuff down here. And then there's more Sylvia Plath, more knitting. This was knitting inspiration for 2025. Obviously not all of this stuff is knitted, but you know, you can find inspiration in lots of different places. I love this cap, and I thought it would be cool to kind of embroider quotes on things, like this quote from Hungerstone: "What is a monster but a creature of agency?" I thought that was so good. And then specifically fish related knitting inspiration, which is kind of niche, but like I'm really into fish right now, so like as a motif. And then I have the Greek alphabet in here again, and then more pages ready for me to write more quotes from the journals of Sylvia Plath. And that is where I stopped before Christmas. I didn't take this book with me to my parents over Christmas because I would have had to, you know, take my copy of the journals of Sylvia Plath, which looks like this. It's very heavy, and there was no way I was taking this on the train. So that's my Commonplace book. That was a quick run through, but I don't know, maybe we could do a video where it's kind of like a Commonplace with me, where I pull out information and like things that I want to add to this. If you would like that video, just let me know. Okay, let's have a coffee break. Okay, next up is my planner. This clip keeps popping off. I'm just going to put it to one side. But that was an add-on that I got with the book. Okay, so I haven't really shown this since I set it up, I think. So, sorry, just getting comfy. Okay. Okay, I've got a pocket in the front with just some stickers and this stencil that I like to use when I'm setting up my weeks. And then in the back, I have this vellum pocket, which I added when I bought the book. In here, I've got a gift voucher that was given to me for Christmas, which I need to spend soon, and all my Coffee Monsters, what's the word? Functional. Oh my god, my brain is clearly not functional. All my functional, like the Her Tiny icons, and then these are all Planner Monkey Co. Functional like script stickers and stuff as well. And then Paper Bits Co. samplers and stuff, because I like to add these Paper Bits Co. stickers in as like little bits of deco throughout my weeks. If I, you know, have something that I want to add about, or, you know, say something about, I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. Okay. So the Hemlock and Oak book. Let's find an empty week. Okay, here is the first full week of February. This is what the weekly spreads look like. It's basically a super-sized weeks. It has quite thick paper, which I am a Tomo River paper person. You know this about me, or maybe you don't, but now you do. I love the Tomo River paper. I do really like the Stalogy paper as well. This is my first time writing with a Stalogy, or in a Stalogy. So I do like a thin paper, but this is also great. It's just different, right? So this was the first week I used the planner, and I'm really pleased with how it works. So obviously this is quite like a big open space, but I like to break things up into sections. So on the far left, I've got day specific things. So work, appointments, and like events. So it's my mum's birthday that day. My dad was in London, all that sort of stuff. It goes on the far left. And then I have a list of things I want to do for the week. And I've now, because I've got so much space in this book, added like a next week as well, which is a note to myself just to add to the coming spread if, you know, it's not set up. So yeah. I started last year, instead of just, so I make a bullet point list, and normally I would just kind of put an X through the bullet point to signify that that task has been done. However, last year I was finding that these big long lists were just, things weren't jumping out at me if I had or had not done it. So I started to strike things through, and I really like it. I can still read what I had written, and so, you know, if for future reference I needed to just find out what I had done this week, then like I can still see it all. It's not like I've kind of obliterated it. I just put one line through and then I know it's done. That for me is just easier to read, or easier to kind of filter out the things that I still need to do. Like I was looking at this morning and realized I didn't water the plants last week, so I need to add that to my list for this week. Yeah. So then that's that side, which is the dated side. And then the blank page on the right, I write a list of things I want to post about, like content things. I've started doing a mood tracker again, which I did last year at some point, maybe. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, when I was doing vertical planning, I was doing a mood tracker. And I decided to bring it back because I have the space now. And then I track when I take my medication because I have something that I need to take every single day. Saturday, I didn't take it because I was out and I had to refill my prescription on Sunday. So that's why there's a dash there. Not so good, but it's not the end of the world. And then below that, I have just day-specific tasks. So instead of writing on the day, I make a list here. And I find this layout really helpful and it works really well for me. So yeah, this is this current week. Let's see. Okay, so I started making a list of things to do over the weekend. Normally I would do like a day specific, but because I'm off all weekend, I decided to just put weekend as something I've never done, so that was new. And yeah, I've uploaded my Patreon video. I'm filming for YouTube. I need to take more photos for Instagram, and I need to send an email. So I don't know, I really like this book. I'm really into it. And I think I would definitely buy these again, or I would buy from Hemlock and Oak again for sure. I would use it in future years. I've decorated for the rest of January because I got carried away with some new washi tapes I have from the washi station. Look at this freaking tape. This one is called Leaf Litter Crew, and I think it's quite autumnal, but it's so cute. It's good for any time of the year. So I've paired it with these amber stickers from Sticky Club, and the tiny safety pins and the little scraps of paper are my own design from Olive and Mabel. And then I've also decorated for the last week of January. This is these bead stickers are my design for Olive and Mabel, and then I've got Killer Views and some stickers I got in Flying Tiger, and the tape is Yohaku. So yeah, I should say, sorry, I write in this book with specific pens. I've been carrying around this Coffee Monsters pencil case with the book, and it has these 3 pens in it. I have a Zig Clean Color Dot in the color Wisteria. I've got the mild liner in, I can't remember what this is called. I think it's called like Mild Olive or something. And then I've got the Uni Jetstream 4 and 1, which my friend brought me back from Japan. But you can get these other places. But she asked me what pen was my favorite, and I said I like the Uni Jetstream. So this has 4 colors: black, blue, green, and red, and it's got a mechanical pencil and an eraser. So this is like the perfect pen for a planner, to be honest. I really love the Uni Jetstreams. So yeah, that's how we're going along with this book. I'm really enjoying it, and the monthlies, let me just quickly mention, I use more as like an overview. I come back to these at the beginning of the week to work out what I need to do for that week, and then I don't write much stuff in, to be honest. If it's like an appointment or like my anniversary is on the 15th of February, it's my colleague's birthday, that sort of stuff, obviously I will write in the monthlies, but then that goes in the weekly as well. So yeah, I think that all makes sense. Let me know if it doesn't. Okay, and then lastly we can talk about my cousin, the favorite. This is the favorite child. I have some videos about this from last year, but I did modify this Hobonichi cousin, which some may see as sacrilege, but I saw it as me making the exact journal that I wanted. So yes, I cut out all of the monthly and weekly pages, so I was just left with the dailies, and this has been working perfectly. So this is my inside cover with all of this kind of book related stickering. I have my Commonplace key, or this dot key. I use this to kind of categorize my notes that I make, and then we go straight to the turning a page to a new year. So normally here we have there's yearly, monthly, and weeklies. So there's a lot of pages that I took out. Maybe, I'm just trying to work. I mean, it was like this much of the book. Like, it's quite a chunk, you know? And they are gone. I pulled them out. So this washi tape is just covering up the kind of raw part of the spine. Yeah, we've got some more stickers. This, is from Tide Fates, and I'm gonna put my favorite books of the year into this. I might do it like quarter by quarter, but I don't know yet. Maybe I'll have like a sticky note with like contenders. We'll see. I have my vision board, which I made over the Christmas holiday. We have books, we have Cozy Desk, we have Sonny Angels, we have these Keen shoes that I really want, we have dungarees, we have full planner pages, we have yarn, we have coffee. That's the vision. It's not groundbreaking, but that's what I want for 2025. Then the header pages, I've been doing these collages. I've done 3 so far. I've done February's collage here, and then I've also done the one for March here. This I used this really cute chicken paper from Grumpy Nook, and I have a code with Grumpy Nook, which is Bronte Plans for 10% off. Just a little plug. And yeah, this is from a really cute deco book, and I really like that. I think it's so cute. So yeah, what is there to say? I've really quite fluffed up the pages already. I've been putting a fair amount of ephemera in. And I kind of fill, I do quite a lot of deco in this book, and then I kind of fill around my deco. Part of the journaling process for me, part of the enjoyment of this book is doing this kind of these sticker collages, and it's writing with my nice fountain pens and just putting color palettes together, all that stuff I really love. So, you know, like here, for example, I took a huge chunk of the page out by using all of these stickers, but I really like having them there. So yeah, so this is the beginning of this week. I used this book to write about my day. That's what I use the fountain pen for. That's like my day specific journaling entry, which I do put a time to. So here I wrote at 9:16 p.m. Here I wrote at 9:50 p.m. Normally it's around the same sort of time every day, to be honest. It's between 9 and 10 o'clock in the evening. So yeah, this sticker signifies the fact that this was just like a notes section. It was like personal notes. It's not journaling, and it's not something that's like about books or knitting, or stationery, which are my 3 specific categories that I have. I can't remember. Oh, I was writing about my printer and realizing I could use printable stickers now. So these 2 pages I actually filled up earlier today because where I've put these photos here and then in here was empty. And I've decided I'm okay with that. And if I need extra space on other days, I'll come back and fill them up, which is exactly what I did. So quite a lot happened yesterday. I went to my friend's house for dinner and played with her doggo, and that's a picture of him blinking. And she made a really nice dinner, so I put a picture in there. I finished this book and wrote about the book because I couldn't fit it for Thursday because I'd already filled up the page with loads of ramblings about washi tape. And yeah, okay, so this is Friday. So this was my journaling entry for yesterday. I wrote across the page, which I'm fine with. It's just kind of everything goes in here, and I am not trying to be too precious with like how I use the pages. Like, let me see where it was. At some point, oh no, this has come out. Okay, I need to use some better glue. At some point over the Christmas holidays, that goes in there. Yeah, here I wrote completely over the date, and I really like that. So I need to kind of do that again. How are we going to stick that back in? Shall we? These are not very stuck down. Okay, they maybe will come unstuck again, but we can cross that hurdle when we come to it. So what was I saying? Yeah, I wrote over the date because I thought that looked cool, and I had the idea when I was like laid in bed. So yeah, everything kind of gets thrown in here. I do try and put, ephemera bits and pieces in. I obviously have the brick notes to kind of supplement that, but yeah. I now have my own printer, so I'm trying to add more pictures of like things that happened, and like book covers and all that sort of stuff. So let me just think. Oh, I wanted to show you as well. I'm using the everything pockets from Hobonichi to hold different things at the back of this book. So here are some printouts that I haven't used yet. Some book covers. I'm currently reading the advanced reader's copy of A Drop of Corruption by Robert Jackson Bennett, which is the sequel to The Tainted Cup. So I have those book covers there. And then I started Once You're Mine by Morgan Bridges last night, because I like to have like one more serious book and one like pretty unserious book on the go at the same time. So A Drop of Corruption is my serious book, and Once You're Mine is my unserious book. So those are in here with this little picture of my parents' cat Gomez licking his paws, because at the beginning of January I did a little mood board of the pets with their tongues stuck out, and unfortunately I didn't have space for that picture of Gomez, so he is just living there for now. And then I also have in the back here this big pocket which has got all of my days of the week stickers from Planner Monkey Co. This is quite a hefty stack of stickers in the back here, but obviously the more I use, the less, you know, I'm gonna get rid of these sheets. These are my Commonplace, or like my key dots in here, which are the smallest size, I think 5mm Stalogy dots in the trees colorway. I've got another pocket on here which has got these dots, which I use as my reference items, and they go on the edges of the pages, like here. That's my currently inked fountain pens. I have more of these scribbly clouds, these paper case stickers, and then I have these tabs from Planner Monkey Co, which I've used one here for these favorites and also for my books I've read, because I like to fill this my 100 out with the books that I've read. And then lastly, I have these calendar stickers from Killer Views. I think these are stunning, and these are what I'm using on my cover pages for the month. And I'm kind of picking out colours that match the collage stickers and working around those with my own collage. So yeah, that's tucked in this back cover. So the cover, clear cover I've got on here is a Midori one. Loads of people say these don't fit. I find that they do fit, so that's not very helpful. But if you put it on your book and it's kind of pulling the book, blow it with the hairdryer on hot and it'll mold the book. I've always done that with these and they work really well for me. So yeah. Okay, I think I'm going to stop talking and get to, I guess I'll get to editing. But yes, okay. Thank you so much for watching this ramble. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know about your 2025 systems. I hope you're enjoying them. I hope that they are working for you. And yeah, thank you for being here. I'll be back next week. I'm not sure what video I want to do next week, but yeah, if there's something you want to see, like the Commonplace video perhaps, let me know and I can work on that. Okay, thank you everybody, and I'll speak to you soon. Goodbye.